Hi everyone, Tony from Hearns. This morning we're going to cut and mount a new body shell onto this Yoko RS rookie speed chassis. Currently it's got a Bittydesign Eptron on there. That's coming off. And we've got this Bittydesign Porsche 911 GT3 shell to go on. Fantastic looking shell, really good. Now, before I started on this, I've cut off a lot of stuff along the bottom here. It comes down quite a way. Here's one of the parts that I took off. That goes all the way around. It gets in the way, it makes it difficult. But there are some areas that I had to be very careful with. You can just see this. These are little canards that you cut out, and they go along the front here. There's one on either side, so I've had to be very careful when I was cutting these to make sure that they've stayed intact. And you can just see, I think, the rear wing end plates are here. They're part of the rear wheel arch, and I've also cut off the wing, which was mounted on the back of the shell. So I've cut down about, looks, I don't know, about 6-7 mil down from the lower sill panel, and I've tried to keep that consistent here and along the front. So we'll use that as the basis for putting it on the car. You can see here I've got a line. I've taped this line on. You can also draw it on, it's up to you. Tape I find is easier. That's marking the center line of the car. So that gives me something to measure off. So if I want to be really accurate, I can measure between the body posts, front and rear, although, yeah, this car it's different. A lot of cars are the same front and rear. In this particular one, you can take it here, halve that, and go across, and you get a really accurate measurement. Now, it's not quite so critical on this car because I found when I put it on, there's a lot of toe in on the rear wheels, which means that the shell's barely moving side to side, so it's actually very easy to get it center. Front, also very similar. So this is actually going to be quite an easy one to mark out where the body post holes go. Now, what I'm doing here is just lining it up. You can see I've put a line here, a center line on the shell. I haven't done it on the wheel arch, sorry. I haven't done it on the rear, but that helps me to line it up all the way down to the front axle. Put it back on. Now, I'm just eyeballing it now. Just getting a feel. This isn't always, they don't always line up exactly where you want them to. But in this instance, it's pretty good. So I've just got it sitting there and I'm looking at it, making sure we've got the right amount of space, front and rear. You can see here, it's very clear where the front body posts are going to come through. It helps that the body posts on this have already been cut down quite a long way for the Eptron shell. Normally you're going to have a brand new body post sitting way up here. If that's the case, it's a little bit more difficult. What I do in those instances is end up, I can put a set square or something here so it sticks up along the center line. Or I can put a set square on Brett.
How you going, mate?
We're going alright.
What's going on? You got the filthy old RS 1.0 up on the bench.
And it's a fine vehicle, but it'll be better when we've got this on here.
Aren't they gorgeous?
Oh, yeah.
Aren't they gorgeous? It's a new Bittydesign Porsche GT body, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Can we see Porsche?
It just says P. I think we all know it's a Porsche. We're going to need some new shell. You need to go outside and get me some new body posts for the rear.
New body posts?
Yeah, but we don't need them right now.
All right.
But the rest of it's good. I was just telling the good people why I have a centre line here and how I mark up the front here to line up with the axle.
See, I don't do centre lines myself, but I absolutely adore the idea.
Yeah, I'm really, dare I say it, anal about this sort of thing and getting it dead right.
It's not the first time you said that today.
No, and it won't be the last.
All right. I won't annoy you, but I will go and get you some body posts.
Yeah, they don't need to go on straight away. But this is actually going to be a pretty easy one.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
To me, like I've just said, usually end up a brand new post and you've got to try and eyeball it way up here.
Way up there.
In that instance, what I do is I do the fronts and lower it down and then do the rear.
Yeah, because the front one's a little bit more critical, isn't it?
Yes. And of course on a...
And are we going like the racer spec 6mm forward or something like that?
No, we're going dead in the centre. We're going dead in the centre. This deserves to have it look good because of the poor shell.
All right.
So we're good. You can go away now and I'm going to... It's hard to get anything done here with him. Anyway, we've got the front lined up. Checking the side to side. It's pretty good. So I'm just going to mark that there for the front. And he's thrown me a pink donut.
Don't know what that was for.
Doesn't matter.
Body post.
Body post. That's where it's good being at the shop.
When you start cutting and stuff like that, I can start wrenching on the car if you want.
You can do that.
Doesn't have to be now.
No. All right. Well,
moving. I don't want you falling asleep at the wheel.
No, that's okay. We're good. We're good. We're good.
All right.
Just checking the rear now.
You want to sit it on there, right? You want to get it sort of sized up.
Yep. I'm just gonna
before you butcher the.
Mark those on there. That's easy. Yeah.
You're gonna cut the wheel arches out.
I am. I'm not gonna cut it the way that I normally do it. I'm doing it the people's way.
The people's way.
The people's way, because what I'm talking about, I normally get my knife and I go all the way around.
Yes.
And do it all in one cut and then snap it and score it.
Really?
But that's really difficult to do.
That is.
Yeah. And you don't want to be doing that. The only other person I know that is the BJ who's over there at the moment.
Yeah.
He says he does that too.
I do.
Yeah.
I do it, but I don't do it in one cut. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not that good.
Yeah. I'm just showing off, really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You should have been a surgeon test, eh?
Yeah, well, after what they charged me for what they did to my missus, yes. All right. Holes are marked. Here's a handy Arrow-Max reamer. That's seen better days.
It's done a lot.
It's done a lot of reaming, hasn't it?
Seen some action, that reamer.
Yeah.
You want me to get these body posts done?
You can do that. I'm going to drill holes here.
You're going to get some holes done?
They're not...
Now, why do we like to use body reamers?
Because drills don't work. I mean, they can.
And they're frankly dangerous.
But you end up with the drill going through and the body going... Whoo. Yeah, don't want that.
A triangle-shaped hole, right? Do we need front posts as well, or just rear?
I think we'll get away with the fronts. We'll find out. Now, these haven't lined up exactly where I'd like them lined up, but I'm just going to move this one in a couple of mil, and that will work.
Bodies are very rarely properly square, are they?
Yeah.
Now, the good thing about the RS 1.0 being based on a very successful racing car and lineage to Yokomo's competitive touring cars, which is currently the MS 1.0, is that a lot of the parts are interchangeable. And body posts on race cars are a
consumable.
Pretty much because we all cut them down to the last hole, right? Then as soon as we get another body, it never fits the same. So you've got a new set of posts for every body.
People will note here that I've got my fingers well apart here. Just in case, because you never know how thick the Lexan is at this point.
Not as thick as some.
Not as thick as some.
It's very rare that I actually use a reamer that I don't bleed.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stab you now just to make sure.
Just to make sure we're doing it right.
Yeah, yeah. It's. Well, my dad used to say when he was ever doing DIY stuff, if it didn't lose at least a litre of blood, it wasn't successful. Now we'll do front ones.
He didn't pass away
from blood loss.
From blood loss from home improvement, did he?
No.
No, that's okay.
Look at that. Oh, these are good.
Oh, I'm just noticing the closer I look, the more I see. We've just got this car back from one of our team drivers, TP, young Bethany Cullen up there in New South Wales. And she has
Oh, she has a phone call.
She has made a few little changes on this car.
Ah.
I'm just picked up now. There's
You'd
little O-rings on the battery.
You'd expect that from Bethany. She knows what she's
She
doing.
knows how to build.
Okay, these are reamed. What I do now, because you've got little bits that aren't do it, I push them back in and then ream from the
Completely eyeballed that.
from the other direction.
Right. Anyway, all right. It does have new rear posts.
Look at that.
I will leave you be. I will get out of your hair. What you got left of it.
Yeah.
If you need anything, you know where I am.
You're out there in the front, in the shop.
Doing all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Nah, in here's pretty good too.
No, in here's where it's at.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right. I'll leave it.
So we've got that. Look at those new. Oh, look at those. Okay, got that mounted now, and that looks pretty good. We're going to have to pull it down a little bit on the rears, but that's okay. What I might do, just open this one out a bit. Just give it a bit more freedom of movement. That should be all right. Okay. We'll leave all the cutting swarf there. Okay, that's pretty much ready to go in terms of the body mount holes, so that's good. Let's start on the trimming. These are Bittydesign scissors, well worth getting. Get yourself something good. We're going to cut now along the rocker panels. Just take your time. Okay, that one's good. Now the other side. These big straight sections, you don't want to use the curved scissors. They just doesn't work. That's done. That's even relatively straight, even for my 67-year-old eyes. Let's do a rear wheel arch. Now, the rear wing end plates here, so we need to keep that in one place. Place. Let's try with piece. Don't want to force this. Let the curvature of the scissors do the work for you. Ease it round. When I've finished a wheel arch cut, I usually go back in with a little sanding drum or something just to keep it smooth, but these ones are pretty good. And I'm going to show off now and go round like that. So we've got a nice round edge there on that. Same on the other one. Switching the scissors over. Same again. You'll notice little short cuts, not trying to cut a hole too much at one time. And that, this time I'll just cut straight down. Yep, that's pretty good. Now onto the front wheel arch. Again, small cuts. I know the hard thing is to slow down, because you want to get this finished so you can paint it and get it on the car. But it pays off. If you do it properly, you get a much nicer finish. All the way down to there. Now, turn the scissors over. The rounded cut, not the best one. I'll just go back and do that again. You don't want that, you don't want the pointy thing. Not good. It's not good at all. We've done those. One more wheel arch to cut. This is actually a relatively easy body to mount and trim. I'm quite happy with that. Some of them are an absolute bastard and there's just no way around it. And if you're a serious touring car racer, you might want to mount the body a few mil further forward to get more steering or stuff like that. For me, the scale looks on this Porsche shell are very important, so we want to make sure that the body is centered in the wheel arches so that it looks its best. Okay, wheel arches done. Now, we're going to trim the rear. I think we'll start off with the curved scissors. Again, we've got that nice little curve. And I'm just doing this as very, very small cuts. I'm now going to go on the other side. I've done hundreds and hundreds of body shells over the years, so this is second nature to me. Might not be to you, but when you've paid a lot of money for this shell, you want to spend your time and make sure you do it properly. Now, I'll cut up to there. I'm just going to make a tiny cut there to go across the back. Now I'm going to switch back to the straight scissors because we want this to be a nice straight cut. Sometimes you might have to move the body around a bit to get the light to fall in the right place so you can actually see where to cut. If you're really struggling, you can pre-mark it with a Sharpie marker so that you know where you're going. Going across the back here. Bang. Back's done. Sides are done. Wheel arches are done. Now, across the front, I always wonder why we take so much care getting the front done, because as soon as you're racing the thing, 2 or 3 crashes and that's it, the front's wrecked. Once again, the straight scissors, take your time. This is the first one of these new bitty shells that I've cut out. I suspect I'll be doing a lot more because I certainly want one on my touring car. Bit more. Done. Now, once again, just finishing it off with a rounded corner. Okay, that's pretty good. We'll sit it on the car now. we go. It's a little bit hard to get it on. I'm going to need to expand those holes a little bit. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. I'll lift that up so you can see. Sitting a little bit high at the back, we'll have to move that down. That's okay. This is a killer shell. Really, really good. I'll be, if you watch Hearns live, you will see the process in painting this. This is getting Walker's Donuts paint scheme. So the car will be predominantly yellow, which is the Walker's corporate colour. So that'll be a really good thing. So we'll show you in detail how I'm going to paint that. That's ready to go now. Rear wing. This one's pretty damn simple. Bittydesign, straight scissors again. Wings probably a little bit small, I would think. It's normally I'd say that was for scale reasons, but to be honest, the wing on the GT3 is massive. I know, because I followed one in my car the other day. Not for long, admittedly. It pulled away fairly quickly. So I know with a lot of the other Bitty GT shells, people replace the factory wing with a touring car wing to get a little bit more rear downforce. But for our purposes here, I'm going to cut this one on the lines. If anyone's looking at this going, oh God, how does he do? Oh, how does he do it so quickly? It's because I've done so many. There we go. That's it. The wing end plates are here. I'll just do one of them now. What I do is just rough it out.
Hey, travelling here, mate.
Oh, we're doing the end plates. Look at that.
It's a fine thing.
It is, it is. These scissors you gave me are actually really good.
They're fresh. That's why these little curved ones. Were you happy with these? Or
I was happy with those. No, they were actually okay.
These have done some work. These have done heaps.
Yeah.
The 7th scale and 8th scale body's 1.5mm thick.
Yeah.
It's like cutting Nan's toenails.
No,
you know what I mean?
You need tin snips for those. End plates. Bang. There's the end plate.
This can be the Walker's car, is that right?
This is the Walker's car. I just mentioned that a couple of minutes ago.
I think you need to approach them. This is official sponsorship now.
Yeah.
We should have a donut budget.
Well, you mean we don't? I didn't know that.
No, that's just
We've actually
the company credit card.
Ah, okay. We're pretty much done most of that now. It's almost ready to go.
Is it cut and fit? How does it look on there?
We've already had it on there.
You've heightened it? And
we're going to have to do a bit of fiddling on this,
it?
but that's okay. It's essentially fitted. Everything sits nicely in the wheel arches.
And you did a more than acceptable job on the wheel arches.
I know, much to my surprise.
Very nice.
Look at that. It even feels quite good. I think this is good. We're pretty much ready to go with this.
So that is episode 1. Yeah? We'll call it episode 1?
Well, this is episode 1, but the rest of it is going to be part of the live. So.
Going to be part of the live, part here, part live, part at home. It's
yeah,
gonna happen.
Part in public toilets just up the road.
Oh, all right, that's awkward.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
Fantastic,
we'll be good.
Mate.
We'll finish this here. You can look forward to the next stage very soon. Although whether this gets out before the live, I don't know.
That's fantastic. Well, you are Tony Gray from Hearns.
And you're not.
I am Brett from Hearns.
And we're done.
See you guys.